Today, the eyes of all Muslims around the world are fixed on one man, Mahdi. Everyone is waiting for Imam Mahdi to appear and lead them so that they can rule the entire world. But everyone wants to know when Imam Mahdi will arrive. Is Imam Mahdi's appearance written only in Muslim scriptures? Or are predictions of his arrival also made in the scriptures of various religions around the world? And most importantly, how will Imam Mahdi face the world's superpowers in today's world? So let's understand this word, Mahdi. It means a leader, that is, a person who liberates people from oppression and leads them to victory. This concept existed in the world before the arrival of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Thousands of years before him, during the time of Hazrat Noah, peace be upon him, when people had become extremely corrupt. Idolatry, corruption, oppression, and injustice were rampant among the people. But at that time, some righteous people were also alive. They prayed to Allah, "O Allah, send someone who will give humanity a new direction." So Allah answered their prayers and sent Hazrat Noah, peace be upon him. He guided them for 950 years, but humanity had deteriorated to its worst. They disobeyed him except for a few righteous people. So Allah commanded Hazrat Noah, peace be upon him, to build an ark. Hazrat Noah, peace be upon him, built the ark and took animals of every species with him. A great flood followed, wiping out these people. After this, Hazrat Noah, peace be upon him, and his followers made a new beginning. Several centuries after Noah, humanity fell back into idol worship. Even the scriptures of that time stated that a man would come who would be a friend of Allah, Hazrat Ibrahim, peace be upon him. Then Ibrahim, peace be upon him, abandoned idol worship, preached monotheism, and guided the people. Several centuries after Ibrahim, peace be upon him, the Israelites began to multiply and grow in Egypt. However, at that time, Egypt was ruled by Pharaoh. Pharaoh felt threatened by the Israelites and enslaved them, subjecting them to severe oppression. For many years, the Israelites continued to be oppressed, praying to Allah to send a prophet who would free them from this slavery. So Allah sent Moses, peace be upon him, to them. Moses defeated Pharaoh and liberated the children of Israel. Centuries after Moses, the time of Jesus came. At that time, the children of Israel were under Roman rule in Palestine, with corrupt Jewish priests as their imams. They had been without a prophet for quite some time. The children of Israel awaited a Messiah, and their books contained prophecies of his arrival, which are still recorded in the Bible. That Messiah arrived in the form of Jesus. However, the children of Israel conspired against them. Therefore, Allah raised Jesus to the heavens. After Jesus, when evil became rampant in Arabia, Jewish books contained prophecies of the coming of a great prophet, and at that time, Jews awaited that prophet just as Muslims await Imam Mahdi today. Even today, these predictions are written in the Bible. After this, the prophet, peace be upon him, made the prophetic announcement. This concept of the Messiah was already present among the people of Israel. For this reason, even Allama Iqbal, a prominent Islamic scholar and poet, did not believe in the concept of Imam Mahdi. He argued that Muslims had adopted this concept from Jews and Christians. During the Abbasid Caliphate, when Muslims were being oppressed, the concept began to spread among Muslims that a Messiah would soon arrive who would set everything right. Allama Iqbal argued that it was extremely dangerous for Muslims to continue suffering oppression while waiting for a Messiah. For this reason, he disapproved of the concept of Imam Mahdi. Not only Allama Iqbal, but also Ibn Khaldun, a scholar and philosopher, disagreed with the authenticity of the hadiths related to Imam Mahdi. However, if one were to examine the hadiths related to Imam Mahdi, they are found in almost every major hadith book except Bukhari and Muslim. Numerous hadiths exist in both Sunni and Shia scriptures, all with accurate source material. Not only Islam, but every major religion in the world today contains prophecies about the coming of a Messiah. For example, in Mesopotamia, there is mention of a shepherd who will be the Messiah, and in Egypt, there is mention of a man named Osiris who will revive the earth. Similarly, the Zoroastrian religion mentions a man named Zarathustra who will be born in the end times and fight a great war. Similarly, Hindus believe in the Kalki avatar, who will arrive during the Kali Yuga, riding a white horse and wielding a sword, fighting against oppression and spreading the faith throughout the world. The Buddha also mentions a man named Maitreya, who will come at a time when people turn away from the faith. He will spread the truth and show the world the right path. Similarly, Jews believe in a Messiah who will arrive in the future. But their Messiah will be Dajjal, who will lead them and build the third temple. Christians believe in the revelation of Jesus, whom Muslims also believe in. So the concept of the Messiah exists in every religion. And in Islam, the concept of Imam Mahdi wasn't invented, but is present in authentic hadiths. Even U.S. President Joe Biden knows about Imam Mahdi. I did know the difference that exists. I did know what the hidden Imam is. I did know, and Netanyahu also knows, that Muslims will reestablish the caliphate. They don't want any Western presence. Guess what? In their dreams, they don't want any Western presence. But the biggest question here is, how will Imam Mahdi challenge the world's major powers, who possess advanced weapons and even control the world's economy? We have the strongest economy in the world, possessing data on every Muslim alive today. How can one person defeat them all? Before Imam Mahdi's arrival, the situation would have become even more difficult. Oppression would be ongoing in Syria, which continues today. After the civil war, the Dajjali regime would have arrived. Greater Israel would have been established, as Netanyahu himself has demonstrated to the entire world. If the Middle East changes, we will bring the possibility of peace to this entire region. At that time, Palestine will be remembered only in history books, and Muslims in India too will be facing severe oppression. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "At that time, the nations of the world will invite each other to fight against you, and at that time, the believers will be few, and the earth will be filled with oppression." There is a hadith attributed to him. He said, "When an Arab king dies, this could be King Mohammed bin Salman. Prince Mohammed bin Salman has told the U.S. Congress that an attempt could be made to assassinate him. After the king's death, there will be a conflict over the next king. Then a man will come to the Kaaba, where some people will pledge allegiance to him. These 313 people will travel from different parts of the world. Just as there were only 313 Muslims in Islam's first battle, the Battle of Badr, after which a new chapter of Islam began. Similarly, Imam Mahdi will have 313 special companions with him who will be righteous, intelligent, strong, and pious. Many hadiths mention that they will be people unknown in the world. But they will have a high status in the sight of Allah. One of these people will possess the knowledge of 40 people. They will not only be leaders but also commanders, scholars, and thinkers. When these people pledge allegiance to Imam Mahdi, they will help him build an army. When Imam Mahdi appears, Muslims living oppressed lives like those in Khorasan, Yemen, Iran, Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria will go to support him. The situation in these countries is dire today, thanks to America. Americans have never, ever, ever let their countries down. Never. In September 2014, the U.S. attacked Syria. After this, Syria was in a state of war for many years, and today, Syria's situation has worsened. Similarly, the U.S. attacked Iraq in 2003, and today its situation is also dire. Similarly, the U.S. waged war against Afghanistan for many years, and today the situation in Afghanistan is before you. There is so much poverty there, and just in March, the U.S. conducted airstrikes on Yemen, which was America's largest military operation. Now the U.S. wants to do the same to Yemen, because Yemen stands with Palestine and attacks Israeli ships. Pakistan is also secretly controlled by the U.S. because of the Pakistani military. But beyond all of this, Iran is the only country currently competing with America and Israel. Music Israel itself considers it a major threat. The greatest threat right now, Iran. You want 3 threats. Give me the 3 threats, Iran. Iran, and everything should be done to present Iran, the world's most dangerous regime, from developing the world's most dangerous weapons. And America also knows that Iran is very powerful. When Donald Trump was asked, Iran is very weak. Why don't you attack it? Trump further stated that Iran would be the first country to support Imam Mahdi, because the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, had said that armies waving black flags from Khorasan would go to support Mahdi. During the Prophet's time, Khorasan included today's Afghanistan, Iran, Pakistan, and parts of other countries. But these parts of all these countries are not called Khorasan, except in Iran. Even today there is a province called Khorasan in Iran. And as the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, armies flying black flags from Khorasan will go to support Imam Mahdi. And you know very well whose black flag that is. Therefore, Iran will be the only country to support Imam Mahdi, because Iran is soon going to become a nuclear power. To prevent nuclear weapons, it is secretly developing nuclear weapons. After this, Pakistan will not be the only Islamic country to possess nuclear weapons. When Iran possesses nuclear weapons, America and Israel will never consider fighting it. Iran is the only country waiting for Imam Mahdi's appearance. Iran is the only country with an Islamic system. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia and other Arab countries are licking America's boots. Saudi Arabia is selling oil to Israel, which is used in their rockets, which fall on Palestinians, and Saudi Arabia still maintains a monarchy. When troops from Khorasan go to support Imam Mahdi, it will reveal to the entire world that a man is gaining power in Arabia, posing a threat to Western countries. Western media will accuse Imam Mahdi of being a terrorist, and NATO countries like the United States and Israel will send an army against Imam Mahdi, led by Sufyani. Sufyani will be a fitna, supported by Western countries. This man will appear to be a devout man, but he will be an enemy of the followers of the al-Bayt. He will originate from Syria and be descended from Muawiyah. He will wreak havoc in Iraq and Syria. Imam Ali, peace be upon him, said, Sufyani will originate from Syria. His complexion will be red, his hair will be light, and he will have a mark on his face. He will destroy mosques and kill the followers of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Imam Bakr, peace be upon him, said that Sufyani will emerge in the same year as Imam Mahdi's appearance. Imam Jafar Sadiq, peace be upon him, said that Sufyani's arrival is certain. He will arrive 15 months before Imam Mahdi's. Imam Ibn al-Abidin, peace be upon him, said that when Sufyani emerges, people's hearts will be filled with fear. Then blood will flow openly in Iraq and Syria. He will slaughter women and children. Now, this Sufyani's personality will be similar to Muawiyah's, as if Muawiyah has come back to this world, because, like Muawiyah, he will also be from the lineage of Abu Sufyan. And just as Muawiyah was the governor of Syria and had many supporters in Syria, Sufyani will also emerge from Syria. And just as Imam Ali's capital was Kufa, Sufyani will also attack Kufa. Imam Jafar Sadiq said that before the Mahdi's appearance, there will be a civil war in Syria, after which Sufyani will emerge. You will be surprised to know that a major civil war has been going on in Syria for the past several years. It is time to end this brutal civil war. The civil war which the U.S. took advantage of to attack Syria, and given the current situation in Syria, such a leader could emerge from here, as many terrorist leaders reside there. So, when Imam Mahdi appears, Sufyani will send an army against Imam Mahdi. But that army will be crushed to the ground in the desert at a place called Baydan, a miracle from Allah. Seeing this, even those Muslims who considered Imam Mahdi a liar will pledge allegiance to him. Even some Jews and Christians will recognize him and accept him as their leader. But some scholars, driven by their pursuit of dollars, will label Imam Mahdi as a fraud and a liar, and the media will also launch a full-blown propaganda campaign, calling him a liar and trying to turn Muslims against him. By that time, Imam Mahdi will have become a threat to the world's major powers. When Sufyani realizes that his army has entered the desert, he will raise another large army, and Western countries will support this army. This will lead to a major battle between Imam Mahdi and Sufyani. This means that on one side will be Imam Mahdi, from the lineage of Imam Ali, peace be upon him, and on the other, Sufyani, from the lineage of Muawiyah. In this battle, Imam Mahdi will defeat Sufyani and even kill him. After Sufyani's assassination, Imam Mahdi's power in Arabia will increase, and more people will support him. And each of Imam Mahdi's 313 companions will have thousands or even millions of soldiers under their command. Many organizations will come out in support of Imam Mahdi. At this point, Imam Mahdi will attack India, where Muslims will be oppressed. He will conquer India, after which Imam Mahdi will become a great leader worldwide. Seeing this, NATO will sign a peace treaty with Imam Mahdi. European countries and the United States will sign an agreement with Imam Mahdi because they will face a threat other than Imam Mahdi at that time. Therefore, they will sign an agreement with Imam Mahdi. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "There will be a peace treaty between you and the Romans, after which you will join forces with them and fight someone else, and he will be your enemy and theirs. Who that enemy will only be known in the future. It is possible that it will be the Zionists, as they will also be enemies of Muslims. Imam Mahdi will join forces with other countries to fight against them, and Muslims will win this war together with Christians. After the victory, Muslims and non-Muslims will be resting in their camps when a Christian will pick up a cross and bury it. This means he will want to show that it was a Christian victory, not a Muslim victory, but Muslims will break the cross, demonstrating that it was Allah's victory, not theirs. This act will break the treaty between Muslims and Western countries. After this, Western countries will prepare a large army against Imam Mahdi. This will be a massive war. Western countries will enter this war with a large army equipped with high-tech AI weapons, drones, missiles, and fighter jets. When Muslims see this army, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that a portion of the Muslim army will flee this battle, and Allah will never forgive them. Another portion will be martyred in this battle, becoming the greatest martyr of that time. Another portion will win this battle, and Allah will never test them again. This will be a very dangerous war. Music. This war will be fought near Syria or in southern Turkey. The Syrian war also took place some time ago. After winning this war, the Muslims would head straight for Istanbul, which is now Istanbul in Turkey. This means that Istanbul would fall from the hands of the Muslims before Imam Mahdi. Istanbul is a very important city in Muslim history. The Prophet, peace be upon him, had said in his lifetime that you will conquer Constantinople, and the leader who conquers it will be extraordinary, and the army that conquers it will also be remarkable. After this, in 1453, Sultan Muhammad Fatih conquered Constantinople, about which we also made a video. Scholars now say that this prophecy was fulfilled during the time of Sultan Muhammad Fatih. However, some say that the Prophet, peace be upon him, spoke about the conquest of Constantinople during the time of Imam Mahdi. When Imam Mahdi leads his army towards Constantinople, the Muslim army will march with loud cries of Allahu Akbar, a sound that will resonate far and wide, frightening the enemy and forcing them to surrender Constantinople to the Muslims without a fight. After winning this battle, the Muslims will still be packing up their war gear when they receive news that the Dajjal has arrived. This will be Satan, who will call out to sow discord among the Muslims, saying, "The Dajjal has taken over your homes." The Muslims will be terrified upon hearing this. Imam Mahdi will return with his army to Syria or Iraq to rescue these people, but by the time he arrives, the Dajjal will have truly arrived. This will be followed by the appearance of Jesus, peace be upon him, which we will learn about in the next video. But the biggest question is what signs will come true before Imam Mahdi's arrival. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said that before the arrival of Imam Mahdi, the earth would be filled with oppression, which is evident today. Oppression is taking place in Palestine, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Yemen, and Kashmir, and how puppet governments controlled by Jews are ruling Muslim countries. Interest has become the global economy today. Muslims are considered terrorists. Scholars are selling their religion for reals. The earth is undoubtedly filled with oppression. Similarly, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that before the arrival of Mahdi, there will be tribulations like the dark night. People will be believers in the morning and hypocrites at night. Today, you see that the greatest tribulations are in Arabia, where wars are constantly raging. Similarly, the media is spreading the most propaganda, with no one knowing what is true and what is false. But there are many predictions that have not yet been fulfilled. Just as the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that before the arrival of Imam Mahdi, a man would emerge from Yemen. He would call people to the truth and Imam Mahdi. When he emerges, Muslims will not be allowed to sell weapons, and this will only come during the time of Sufyani. Currently, there is a group of Houthis in Yemen who stand with Palestine and call themselves descendants of the Ahlul Bayt. These Houthis destroy Israeli ships that pass near Yemen, so it is possible that he is one of them. Similarly, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that a huge fire would emerge from the east, which would be visible for 3 nights. People would be terrified by seeing it. Now, this fire could also be a nuclear explosion. Iran, located in the Eastern Arab world, is secretly developing nuclear weapons. It is possible that Iran will conduct a major nuclear test, because America and Israel are all afraid of Iran's development of nuclear weapons. So, if Iran conducts this nuclear explosion, it will truly frighten people. And as the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, this fire will continue for 3 days. This means that the media will also cover it. Imam Jafar Sadiq, peace be upon him, said that 15 days before the appearance of Imam Mahdi, a person will be killed near the Kaaba. His name will be Nafsi Zakia. This person will most likely be an Islamic activist who will try to tell people the truth. But the Saudi government will probably have him killed. So, these are some signs that will come true before the arrival of Imam Mahdi, but these signs will also come true very soon. Because the Prophet, peace be upon him, had said that in the last moments the signs of the Day of Judgment will be fulfilled in the same way as the beads of a rosary keep falling one after the other after it breaks.